No, so the way that it works, Cryptic. So the question for people that have just tuned in is what is a frame trap essentially, and why do I get hit by it? Yeah, basically. So if you see, every move has frames. So if you look here where it says block advantage, that's what you're looking at, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot we were gonna do the brackets. 1 second. Let me switch back. Boop. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so what is a frame trap? Every move has a certain number of frames, right? So if you look here on the end of the frame data, you see block advantage, right? -3, -3, -5, -2, -6. So what happens is, when you do these moves, these are just the strings. When you do these strings, after this... Sorry, someone outside my window again, but people have been so fucking noisy today. After you've done a move, this move is how many frames you are after it's done. So, if you're at -3, that means that if you press a button that's 10 frames for argument's sake, well, let me see if I'm doing this right. If you're at -3, that means it's going to come out in 13 frames, basically. My maths is so bad. So, but what happens if you're plus, like this move, is whatever you press. So if you try and press a move, because he's 4 frames ahead of you, basically, if you press a button after you get hit by that, you're going to get hit because nothing that you've got is 4 frames fast. So, if we record it, let's swap. And then practice options. So that's +4, right? Devora's, if I'm correct, Devora's, yes. So Devora's standing 1 is 7 frames, right? Yeah. Yeah, as a Gyara's player, yeah, if you're -3, mash down 1. Especially if it's 6 frames. So Devora's standing 1 is 7 frames, right? So because Liu Kang is +4, that means that it's basically, if I have a 3 frame move, it would hit. Is that right? Man, my maths is so fucking bad. Somebody who knows maths, can somebody... Right, overheads, highs, mids, and lows. Now, you don't need to worry about that yet. But basically, if they're plus, it means that when you press a button, it's essentially making you minus, if that makes sense. So if you're pressing a button that's 7 frames, and he's +4, it's going to add 4 to those frames. So it's essentially making it a +11, if you will. So that's why it's a frame trap, because it means that you can't... Yeah, please chime in, Jordan, because I actually do have a video on frame data, but I can't talk about frame trapping in a concise manner. So basically, how we've recorded this, if you see, he's +4. Oh no, I need to keep record him doing it over and over again. Oh no. So you see, if I try and press... Oh, why did he try and jump? Why is he jumping? Yeah, there you go. If Liu Kang is +4 and he does his 9 frame mid again afterwards, yeah, you have to do a 5 frame move in order to beat him. However, the fastest move in this game, outside of Raiden's reversal in Raijin, is 6 frames. Yeah. So that's why it's a frame trap, because if you press a button afterwards, there's no way that you're going to beat it. So that's what makes it a powerful drink. Yeah, thank you, Jordan. Yeah. So if he's +4 and he does 9 frame mid, it means that you have to have a move 5 frames or faster. But the fastest move in this game is 6 frames. So that's why it's a frame trap, because if you press a button and he's at frame advantage, which is when he has a plus... lots of characters in this game have plus frame moves. like Shao Kahn and Sub-Zero. If you press a button after that, and they do a fast button, you're going to get hit because it's a frame trap. So it basically, this game is about turns. If you have a plus move, it gives you another turn essentially, and that's what a frame trap is. So that's why you have to go through the frame data for these characters and make sure that you know what moves are plus for which character, so that you don't press buttons at the wrong time. Because a lot of these ones, a lot of the plus frame ones in strings have crushing blows attached to them, which if they hit you on a counter hit, they do a lot of damage. So yeah, that's another. Thank you, Jordan. So yeah, if it's 9 frames and he's plus 4, it takes 4 frames off it. So it's essentially he's doing it at 5 frames. Yeah, it is quite complicated. I mean, like I said, there is a tutorial in the game that is actually really well put together in terms of explaining it. I want to know why my Liu Kang keeps jumping. What the hell? There you go. See? So did you see that? I got counter hit there because Kung Lao has, I don't think he's plus on anything. No, he's, oh, let's see that. It's been a while since I've checked. The thing is with this game as well is, more often than not, if your character has a string that has plus frames on it, it can probably be flawless blocked. So they usually the flawless, their strings were plus 2-1. All right, it's +1. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, so if he hits you with 2-1, that means he's plus. Yeah, you have to go through the characters to see what each character can do. Otherwise, you're going to be at such a disadvantage because they can just abuse stuff. Two-1. Oh, you mean 2-1, 2-1, 2. Yeah, so if he hits you, oh, let's put it on block. So if he hits you with all that, you can see it says block advantage +1. Yeah, or they're high as well. Yeah, sometimes Garrus down 1 works, yeah, but you have to be very cheeky to try it. So the plus strings usually have some sort of weakness to them, otherwise it makes them really difficult to deal with. But yeah, you have to actually just go through the characters on each and just look at each of their moves and be like, right, that's +1. That's his only plus move. It's amazing when you think that Foxy wins so much with his character's frame data is whack. Yeah, it's usually they're missing their link. But yeah, that's essentially what a frame trap is in a very long-winded way. A frame trap is when a character has a move that puts them in an advantage position, which means that if you press a button after it, you're going to get hit again. So they're essentially stealing their turn back, because this game is all about taking turns. So if you get hit by this, and he's +1, and you try and press a button that's slow, especially if it's slower than the one he's pressing, then that means that you're going to get punished. Yeah, it's true. That's a good point. Foxy did say that. I mean, that is when you're as knowledgeable as he is at the game, you can definitely just play the character. No worries, man. No worries, Cryptic. I mean, It is quite a complicated thing to learn. It's like the offside, trying to explain the offside rule to somebody who doesn't understand football or soccer in football. You understand it because you watch it and you just get it, but then when you have time to explain it to somebody, it gets a bit complicated. But thank you, Jordan and Papa and Davey and everybody else for chiming in there, because I was struggling to articulate myself. But yeah, that's it. So basically what you have to do is just go through the characters, see which of their moves are plus, so that you know when you can and can't press buttons, because otherwise, that's what I see at the lower levels of play. That's what will get you to the next level, is learning what you can and can't punish. Because when I was playing on PC the other day when I was ranking up on the last day of Kombat League Season 1, I was doing stuff that was completely unsafe, and nobody was punishing me because they didn't know the frame data. So learning frame data is a really vital part in learning how to play the game and leveling up. But yeah, there you go, dude. Hopefully that helped.